I need approval of the minutes. Someone wants to make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Alright, Kevin's up next for the local labor report.
Hey, good afternoon. So I have our April 2026 monthly report covering our visits between the 1st and the 30th of April. We made 7 monthly site visits during this period. There were 0 follow-up visits performed. We checked residency with 307 workers, and there were no issues of non-compliance, nor were there any new signs delivered during April. Awesome. Questions? Okay, have a nice day.
Thanks, Kevin. Alright, up next, Greg with a review of the financial report.
Okay, thanks, Chris. Financials through April of 2026, 4 months in. So cash is about 1.98 million. About $1 million of that is in our micro loan account. Looking to source out 446,000 in our checking, and another $330,000 in our money market, and $126,000 in our gain loan account. So all good there. Our investments, we did have a maturity in April that we did repurchase, and now we are again laddering out into June of 2028. Currently we have 11 different or 12 different bonds laddered out, generally 3 months over the next 2 years or so. In terms of our micro loan balance of $4 million that are on the books through April, we did have $200,000 of new loans made in April. Year to date, some good numbers. So we have received $248,000 of principal on that through the year, and $47,000 of interest on that portfolio through the first 4 months of the year. We did have a $25,000 write-off in January, so that's where we are year to date on that. But overall, portfolio continues to perform well. In terms of our, again, revenue and expenses, you can see we're pretty much, on track to budget, down from last year. That's mainly due to our not having, we've loaned all of our money out, so our microloan grant income is down compared to what it was a year ago. I would say all of our balances are in line with budget expectation. There are some timing differences in there as we kind of straight line a lot of those numbers. Kind of harder to determine where they're going to hit. In terms of our expenses, same thing. Overall, I think we're on track. Incentive is a little bit more than it was a year ago, and what we budgeted for, again, that's like kind of shooting a dartboard, figuring out where those come in and things like that. So it's good to see people using the programs, right? But hard to predict where that falls. So again, you could look at $300,000 of excess revenue over expenses year to date, pretty much on track with what we had budgeted so far. And again, financial position looks strong for the first 4 months of the year.
Greg, our other current assets went up. What does that make up again?
That's generally our micro loan receivables that we voucher for, right? That makes up the majority of that. So when we have loans and expenses, we voucher for that, and that's kind of sits as like a receivable on our balance sheet.
And on the expense side, what's in economic development again? I keep forgetting that.
Well, my eyes are getting bad. So that includes the CDL license program of about $50,000.
Okay.
All right, that includes retain of $25,000. The career ladder program through the Science Center, which is small. Score in the chamber.
All the things we approved last month.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Alright, thanks, Greg. Up next, I need a motion to enter into executive session under section 150F for the Public Officers Law to discuss financial history of particular third-party corporations. Second?
Second.
All in favor? Alright, so we have, I need three motions coming up here. The first one is a motion to approve a $241,500 SBA 504 commercial mortgage for the purpose of purchasing a building in the town of Henrietta and recommend submission to the SBA.
I'll move it.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
I will abstain.
Alright. Up next is a motion to approve a $164,000 SBA 504 commercial mortgage for the purpose of purchasing a building in the city of Rochester and recommend, submission to the SBA.
I'll make the motion.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? And the last one is a motion to approve a $400,000 SBA 504 commercial mortgage for the purpose of purchasing a building in the town of Parma and submission to the SBA. Motion,
Move it.
second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Awesome. Up next, Barry's going to talk about the Regional Health 2016 bond modification.
Thank you. This is a request to extend the hold period by an affiliate of M&T Bank for the bonds that were issued in 2016 for GRS Foundation, which is an entity controlled by Rochester Regional Health. They're looking for a short-term extension from June 22nd, 2026. It was a 10-year initial hold period till the end of 2027, so roughly 18 months. The reason they're doing that, at a new interest rate, but the reason they're doing that is because they also have outstanding bonds that were issued in 2017 that will come due in 2027, and they're looking at timing. It'd be more beneficial to potentially look at refinancing all their debt at the same time, and hopefully at that time interest rates also will have come down. So it's just a short-term extension hold period of these bonds for about 18 months. Any questions?
Do we charge a fee for that?
Standard fee schedule is $1,500 for the extension.
That's pretty cheap.
It is cheap. I think the value will be in 2027 potentially.
When they do another bond.
Yeah, when they refinance.
Approved at MT?
I'm sorry?
Is that approved at MT?
That's our understanding. Yeah, we got a letter from the company saying that they've agreed to that with M&T.
You need to abstain.
Yes.
I'll move that.
All right, second,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? All right, next, Barry's gonna talk about the Taylor Square ownership transfer.
Yes, so this organization made a loan to Taylor Square Associates for a housing project in the city of Rochester. We are a co-fourth lien with the city on this project. Taylor Square, the upstream ownership was ultimately Home Leasing. Home Leasing is entering into a portfolio sale transaction with Penrose, which is a large developer of multifamily units. And in order for this transaction to occur, they need consent because we're a lender. We're in fourth position, so they also need New York State
So
HFA.
is this the Hickey?
This is the.
Yeah, Hickey Freeman.
Right.
Super low rate. Do you know what we did?
Yeah, 1%.
Pay us off, we're gonna get paid off on that?
On the transfer, no. No, they're just assuming the same deal that we have already agreed to with Home Leasing. So they have done substantial completion. So starting in 2026, it starts to amortize the loan. It's a 15-year amortization, but it's based on surplus cash. So there's no sort of firm payments that could be deferred.
Say that again?
Our repayment is only out of surplus cash. So we have a 15-year proposed amortization, but the maturity is 35 years in case we don't get paid. At the end of 35 years, we will get paid.
Sweet deal.
Maybe.
26 is the first year.
Ryan, you should be here to see the payoff.
Yeah. So,
What a deal.
Yeah, this was a driver of our, we sort of put the revolving loan fund program on pause for a couple of years because of the resources that were drawn out because of this transaction. And it was necessary to get the Hickey Freeman building back on solid footing. This was a good project, affordable housing, workers in the facility able to also reside there. So a good project, but definitely at favorable terms on a loan.
Yeah,
So home leasing is selling their whole portfolio to,
almost the entire portfolio. There are certain projects that are excluded, from, you know, the negotiation, but yeah, they're selling and, some of their executive team is also, transferring over to Penrose.
Is there anything in our loan docs with transfer of ownership that we could price the loan?
that's why I was asking.
No, there's a consent that's required, for a change of ownership, but not necessarily a reopening of the terms.
Penrose is not a local.
They have an office in New York, but no, they're originally based in Pennsylvania. All the existing mortgages, obviously, are current. They don't need any secondary financing to close on this deal. And it won't change any of the sort of affordable rates at the property. Those are all gonna stay the same, so.
So what if we said no?
I mean, realistically, we'd have to have a compelling reason to do so.
New owner.
We wanna
A new owner
We
that's
like home
qualified.
leasing.
Huh?
We like home leasing.
Understandable. And I think we would just wanna document why we would do that. I think we would potentially table it before voting no.
And
So
what,
that we
and
can-
what do you think they would do if that was the case? Penrose would still buy everything else and leave out home,
Potentially, yeah, I mean, it's a larger portfolio transaction,
What was our
so
loan amount? What do we lend again?
500,000.
which is not very big.
I believe you called it a grant at the time.
My memory is correct.
To home leasing.
Yeah, I don't know that if an out-of-state developer was driving the project at that time, we would have agreed to the same terms, but, you know, fast forward several years, there's, different leadership at Home Leasing made this, decision for the good of the company, and per my communication with the CEO, there's, Penrose is making a good faith effort to retain Home Leasing's employment and operations and is a good partner, so. But again, to the original point, I don't know if, you know, if we got back in the time machine, if Penrose was involved at the outset, we wouldn't have had the conversation, the outcome wouldn't be identical.
And how is the project doing?
It's good. It went from construction financing late last year to permanent financing, so they went through the construction phase, obviously it's built, it's open, it's,
What's the occupancy is then?
I don't have the current occupancy, but in order to go from,
I was just curious about that.
construction financing to permanent, they have to meet the stabilization test, which is 90% over a 3-month period. So it's
Do
substantial.
we have like an excess cash flow recapture provision that says we get paid over and above what? Like what's the?
Basically, all excess cash is swept, to repay, us and the city.
And the Hickey Freeman's still in there, right?
Not Hickey
No,
Freeman
not
anymore.
anymore.
I think there's a,
Different name.
yeah.
But they're
Is it
still
Tom?
operating.
Thomas Jane.
Somebody's operating.
Yes.
Yeah, the Taylor facility is still there. And they got, state funding at the time to stay.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Yeah.
All right, can I get a motion to authorize execution and delivery of the consent to change ownership of Taylor Square Associates?
I'll move that.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
But if you can get out of it, try to.
Maybe they would just pay us off.
Yeah, try to say no, see if they'll pay us off.
All right, any other business?
100% agree.
I just need a motion to adjourn.
Okay.
Second? All in favor?
I